Welcome to Raising the Bar podcast,
Sponsored by the Ashmore Law Firm.
We're your hosts and siblings,
Gary Ashmore.
and Lori Ashmore Peters.
Subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Raising the Bar podcast, co-hosted by myself, Gary Ashmore, and my sibling.
Lori Ashmore Peters, and we are so excited.
Wait, first, hold on.
Oh, what?
Sponsored by the Ashmore Law Firm.
Sorry, we got to get that in. I am
course.
too excited because
Okay.
if you can see the
Go ahead.
display, it's chocolate. We have the privilege and honor of having Pam Eudaric here.
So when I wrote you that check, it didn't bounce.
It did not bounce.
So she
No,
says
we're
nice
good.
things about it.
We're
Okay, good.
We're
Okay, good.
When the
Okay,
check
we're
bounces,
good.
she does.
So
She
she
does it.
is the owner of Chocolate Secrets. For those of you that don't know, it is right here at Oak Lawn, near Oak Lawn and Blackburn-ish. It's going to spoil you if you have never been into Chocolate Secrets. And what I was telling Pam is it has completely spoiled me because once you have a Chocolate Secret chocolate, you will never ever want to go back to the grocery store to get chocolates.
I'm going to
right.
tell you that's really true. I can't even swallow those things.
It really is. And I mean, like I was telling you, for my kids, when they were little, it would be like we would walk into Chocolate Secrets, their eyes get this big because it's just chocolates everywhere. And I'm like, pick which one you want.
Right.
And they're like, any one of them? And I'm like, absolutely, you have your pick.
There's no
That's
kitty
great.
section. So we don't say you need to pick from the kitty section.
Oh, no.
And
No,
those
no.
kids eat strawberry balsamic, rosemary caramel.
Oh, all of it. Absolutely all of it. And so I will say we were also talking, well, actually, I'm sorry, you have all of this already because we've been talking for a while. Okay, so the Virgin Islands again. God, St. Croix. When did you move here?
When I was 17, I came to go to college.
Okay.
Okay.
And, it's really embarrassing in St. Croix to say stuff positive like that about yourself, but I really did do really well on my SAT, pre-SATs. So all these colleges were writing me all these letters. And my mother said, "Did you fill out your college apps?" Yeah. It was a total lie. I used to just stick them all in a shoebox. So I had to sneak my shoebox to my guidance counselor. And I said, "Where should I go to college?" And she was from Texas.
Oh,
Oh,
So
really?
she
okay.
went like this, and she said, "Here, go to Rice." I'd never heard of Rice.
Wow.
But that's where I
I'll be
went.
darned.
This is how God leads you.
Yeah.
You know, she just went like this. Here, go to Rice.
Wow.
So then I came to Texas.
Amazing.
And so you've been here since.
Ever since.
So how
Since
does Texas
17.
compare to St. Croix?
You know, my first winter in Houston, I cried. I locked myself in my room, and they had to come and get me out.
Oh, wow.
And they said, "Honey, you just need to learn to layer dress."
Oh,
I
right.
thought I died. It was so cold to me. But now, I'm almost a snow bunny. Almost.
Okay. All right.
Okay, do you get back to St. Croix often?
I used to have to go every couple of months. If I
Okay.
didn't, I would break down. It was an odd thing. But now, a couple of years go by and I don't get back.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. How do you
I
go
get
that?
wrapped up here
Yeah.
and I don't get back.
Just life gets in the way.
And then, we're all lawyers. So after, Rice tends to, I think, aim you at things, So when they found out that I had an interest in law, they aimed me at UT.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
What do
okay.
you know at 17?
Right.
19.
Right.
So they said, "Oh, UT. Okay."
Okay.
So then I went to UT, so then I was in Austin. And then I wanted to come to Dallas because it was the big city.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. So did you
Okay.
ever consider going back to St. Croix to practice law
I
there?
almost did.
Okay.
But I'd had 3 boys, and I'd raised them here. And then I thought, I could take them to St. Is that fair? Because we
right.
really are different. You made a joke about island time. Time for me is different. I am unaware of the passage of time.
Right.
Some
Okay.
people say, "Oh, it's been 5 minutes," and I think, "How do you know it's been 5 minutes?" You could have me sit for 2 or 3 hours. I don't notice time passing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to be a culture shock, so I decided it wasn't fair to switch them down to the island that
Right.
fast. So they love St. Croix. I mean, they go down there with me all the time, but they don't have to acclimate themselves to the culture of an island, which is really
Right.
very different.
Okay.
I've put on a facade of America, so most people don't even know I'm from someplace else. But really,
Right.
a lot of things, there's something we do in St. Croix. We do like this, and we pop our finger, and it's a loud pop sound. Pop, pop, pop. And I would do that every time something made me happy or excited. So I used to say, "Oh man, did you see that?" And I noticed Americans were going like this. What the hell is she doing?
What's wrong with you?
So I had to.
be
One day I
darned.
went like, and I said, "No, they don't do that here."
Oh my gosh.
You know, the way you sit, the way you interact. Do you know, if I'm with women, I would not be sitting here without holding your hand. We hold our hands, we hold women's hands all the time. So if I'm talking to you, I'm like this.
That's exactly.
Right.
And in America, women are like,
They're like this. No. And
Why
that's
are
our
you
culture
touching me?
too, because
Yeah.
we're Lebanese.
oh, you,
Yes.
oh my God.
So yeah, so not only
When
would
you
we go
said-
to St. John
oh.
every year, but we're also Lebanese, and so it's
We
the same
touch.
thing.
We touch.
Absolutely.
And so
Yes.
did you have to adjust to that?
Touch, and then we always eat off of each other's plates. And
Of
I will
course.
tell you, so we had a wonderful young intern that worked with us. And Gary's
my gosh.
notorious. If he sees something on your plate, he's just going to reach over and
And so what?
And
Wouldn't
grab
taste
it.
it. Right. Right.
she
never noticed.
was horrified. She's like, "What are you
doing?
doing?" And he's like, "Well, I wanted to try. I don't even remember what it was." But now it's like,
And
okay,
you see, I did not even know you're Lebanese because you're doing the same thing. You are doing subtle changes to be in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we do.
we do, and we were born and raised here, but excuse me, but our parents were very, very just traditional.
Right.
They were old-fashioned. They were traditional. And that's how we were always raised. And so when I went back to Lebanon for the first time, it was just like, oh my gosh, like it makes sense. Who we are and why we do things and why we are makes complete
sense.
sense
It
right
does.
now, because that's how they raised us.
And the way you interact as a child with an adult, do you know in St. Croix, you would never dare yourself to smart mouth, be rude to an adult.
Yeah.
I can't even,
Right.
when I think about it, it catches in my throat.
Mm-hmm.
What? And I see some children in America saying, "Ugh, Mom," and using foul language.
Yeah.
It's like I'm being stabbed.
Right.
So we used to have this thing, because I have my three boys. So when we would go to St. Croix, it was always, we'd go to St. Croix plus one. So they could always bring one friend with them.
Okay.
And we'd go. And one of them was talking to an adult and said, "I don't think so." And
Oh
Yes,
no.
of course.
and everybody that was with me on the island, they looked at me like, "Did you bring this boy here?"
Oh
no,
my
I don't know who it
goodness.
is.
But there's so many little subtleties
Yes.
that we adapt to. But this is why I love to travel. I make my kids travel. You know, my kids are half Iranian.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
So they travel all over the world because it makes you bigger,
Yes.
you know? I took them to China twice. And can you imagine half black, half Persian, and my first son, my first husband, is German Irish. So the hair and the skin tones on those kids, oh my gosh.
You had a great
Chinese-
mixture
oh my
going
God,
on.
that's
That's
great.
great. That's
So
great.
Chinese people would run up to them and keep touching their hair
Uh-huh.
and would grab them to take photographs. And some people said that insulted them. And I would think, why would that insult
No.
you?
No, right.
Oh my God, the richness of combining cultures.
Yes.
It was
Exactly
great.
right.
I used to tell the kids, smile when they smile.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
That is
That
great.
is great. Okay, so chocolate secrets. Why chocolate? How chocolate?
Oh, wait,
When
first,
did you
hold on. So you went to
start?
you went to UT Law School?
Yes.
Okay, then what? I mean, you brought
And
you to
then
Dallas.
I came to Dallas and practiced law here.
Okay.
And I practiced for the oldest continuing law firm in Dallas County, Salinger, Nichols, Jackson, Kirk, and Dillon.
Okay.
And I practiced for some of the biggest law firms, you know.
Right.
Godwin, Baker, Mills and Glass. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was great
As a litigator?
as a litigator. And I was
Okay.
a business litigator.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, as a female, I was female when there were no females. And I was black when there were no black people. But I was West Indian, which didn't make me feel, I don't think I need to explain myself. I am. That's how West Indian is.
Right.
So I didn't go around making excuses, but I demanded, I am. But that was cultural, which I didn't realize until later. And it was great. I loved practicing law, but I made 3 boys and I never saw them.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So one day I turned around and I thought, oh my God, this is terrible. So I quit. I quit in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Cold turkey.
I just quit, yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay,
I went home and cleaned like a lawyer.
Okay.
It was ridiculous. I was Swiffer and everything, cleaning. Then I thought, oh my God, I can't do this again. So then I branched out and did other things. So I have a metal recycling company. I have a construction company.
Okay.
I, sell chocolate. But in St. Croix, let's say your toilet stops working. You would say, Pam knows how to. And we suck our teeth. They say, go call Pam. Come fix the toilet. And I would say, okay. And I'd go.
Right.
But in America, I have to incorporate, get an EIN, get a license, blah, 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 insurance. And so before I can touch it, there's so many things I need to do. So in America, you think that I have a career as a plumber or as a construction worker. But the truth is, I'm just doing something that needs to be done.
Right.
And so I don't see myself as having a lot of careers. I see myself as they needed a house. Let me go do that.
Let me go do that.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
I have a printing company. You know why? Because I used to print so much material. I thought, suck my teeth.
Right.
I need to print. So I go get a printing company.
Oh my God, I
That's
love
great.
that.
I know, I do too. Okay, so
yeah.
so the chocolate comes into play when? You just decide?
One of my friends just said, hey, Pam, I was at home saying, oh my God, this housewife stuff is killing me. And she said, why don't you open that store? We used to pretend we'd play.
Right.
And I said, oh, come on, I was just playing. She said, no, go do that. And I thought, okay. So I did that.
When was this? How long ago?
It's like now it's 22, 24 years ago.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Okay.
And the thing about being an entrepreneur, though, and when you have children, is you bring them with you.
Yeah.
When you're working as a professional for someone, you don't bring your kids to the office. But on a routine basis, I would take my kids. So when I was building things with my construction company, I took my little bit with me. Now he's an architect. Because every time I went someplace, he'd come and I'd say, hey, what tile do you want? What this? And he was a little munchkin picking up. So now he's an architect. You know?
Wow. Yeah.
But again, it's just going to fix the toilet.
Right.
That's what I was in.
That's amazing.
Wow. Okay, so you decide to get into the chocolate business, and do you go to school to become a chocolate person, or you just
chocolatier?
Chocolatier?
The chocolatier. You know what
Or do you hire somebody? I mean, what's that journey look like?
If you're on an island, they train you up like this. If you're gonna do something, do it.
Just do it.
If you're not gonna do it, then go to the beach, get a beer, relax, chill out. Because I can relax for days.
All right, of course.
But if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
So I had the best chocolatiers. I
There we go.
found cultures from everywhere. I had 8, 9 different countries in my kitchen. I had recipes that dated back centuries. So, because if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to give you a Milky Way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is why. You see this one right here is a barrel-aged collection. So we found the best liqueurs that we could find. We have Balvenie, Highland Park, Grand Marnier. So we found the best liqueurs. And we made the best. And what would you put it in? A wooden box. So we made the box, hand lasered it. And then my architect's son said, you need to shushugiban. So shushugiban is when you burn the wood. It's Japanese wood preservation techniques. So it has the shushugiban technique added to it. But it's not, people say, oh, you did such a good. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just, culturally, this is what is required of you. If you're, over to tell you, if I went home and did some nonsense, oh my God, I would embarrass my ancestors. It's embarrassing your soul. So I cannot we have live jazz. I cannot not bring you the best musicians.
Right.
If I went to sing myself, first of all, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm a horrible singer. But I'm not allowed to sing myself because I'm not good at it.
Okay. And
So you
that's
bring
just-
the best.
You bring the best, and that's the
Yeah.
cultural thing. I know when we went to the islands for the first time, and just every time we went, when we first went there, it's like, man, it's going to be raining the whole time, or what do you mean every day it rains? And we can't go to the beach. All of the things we can't do. And we were with someone from the islands, and he's like, no, we call that liquid sunshine.
Yeah, we go.
We call it liquid gold.
Liquid sunshine.
It's liquid sunshine. It's liquid gold. I
Right.
mean, that's part of who we are, and it doesn't stop you from doing anything. So embrace it, love it, appreciate it,
I
appreciate
don't even
it.
notice it as a bad.
No.
Right.
No.
And ever since that trip, I don't either. When it's raining, everybody's like, no, it's raining outside. What do you
Great.
mean?
What-
I say, it's liquid sunshine. Let's go out and play.
We
and
still
we would
use
make
it.
people do that, and we do still use it.
I do that.
But it's just,
All the
it's
time.
the different way of, it's just the positive.
Yeah.
We learned that, I mean, even, you know, those family and friends that we know in Lebanon and just when we were in the islands, everything is a positive spin. It's not the negative.
It's yes.
It's
Yes.
love life, enjoy life. Whatever God gives you that
my
day is
Right.
is from God.
It's
So,
yes.
you know, enjoy it, embrace it. And it's such an
Yeah.
incredible way to live. And that's why always smiling.
Yep.
Always happy.
Yeah, what are you upset about?
Yeah.
you don't like
absolutely.
that? Okay, go do something
Go
else.
do
do
something
something
else. You know, absolutely.
That's
But
great.
it is a lifestyle. And I'm so glad you went because now you really know who I am.
Right.
You know, if you wanted to go someplace, you were standing on the street and you say, hey, Pam, where's this restaurant? Do you think I would say, or I would say, it's over there in the corner? No, I'm going to take you there.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me show you.
Because if I don't take you there, it's like shameful. You just let that guy stay there? You didn't take him?
Right. Right.
So I would take you. And one time, I'm slipping my accent. One time I was at the store and a person said, where's this place? Kind of near us. And I said, okay, just follow me. And the person said, what? I said, I'll take you there. Just follow me in the car. And they got so upset. And I said, what's the matter?
Right.
Just follow me. I'm going to show you where it is. And they were like, nobody. And I thought, oh my God. She was so twisted that I would show her.
Right.
But how are you going to know where it is unless I show you? But I know. So let me show you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I think people take that as either there's something wrong with you
She thought something was wrong with me.
Right.
or you're not a good person. Like what agenda
Are
do you
you
have
weird?
here?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you,
You
where
wanna go
are
or
you
don't
going
you?
to take me?
Right.
No. Oh my gosh. All right. So what goodies did you bring today?
Oh, I got you.
We are honored to have Tony Scalise from Corbella Counseling with us. Tony is a licensed professional counselor, supervisor, and a registered play therapist supervisor.
Tony's going to be addressing crucial topics like how divorce affects children and how you can protect them during this challenging time.
With over 15 years of experience, Tony's expertise in trauma therapy, couples counseling, and parenting is going to be invaluable.
After Tony's insights, Hamid will be discussing the dual aspects of divorce, both legal and the real divorce.
You see, your real divorce is about ending one life, starting another, and making it work emotionally and practically. Meanwhile, your legal divorce is focusing on your rights, your obligations, and arrangements for your property and children.
This event aims to provide you with the knowledge and support to navigate these aspects effectively.
So don't miss out on this opportunity to get valuable insight and support for a divorce that may be affecting your life. Visit ashmorelaw.com for more details.
We look forward to seeing you on January 15th at the UP Library here in Dallas.
Bonbons and these barrel-aged bonbons and almonds. And just please eat and enjoy.
Oh, are you
no,
kidding?
we will.
Absolutely.
Absolutely is right.
Now, the barrel-aged ones, I only sell them in the box. Because
Okay.
for me, there's too much alcohol for a child.
Okay.
Ah,
So
okay.
I don't put them in the case. I don't want a child to eat it. Just, you know,
Right.
one time I had a parent that said, oh, it doesn't matter. I thought, I'm not going to give your kid that kind of booze.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
we made the decision. It doesn't sell in the case. It only sells in the box. You have to buy the whole box.
Right.
And they're all barrel aged. And they're all great, but be an adult when you
Yeah.
eat them.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So how many chocolatiers do you have?
Oh, it depends. Like
Okay.
during the holiday season, it doubles.
Okay.
But we have, I can't even tell you, 9, 5.
Right.
Okay.
It varies.
It varies.
So have you ever watched them?
No.
Oh, I
No, I
So
haven't.
we had, I don't even remember, it was years ago, but we had an event there. It may have been a financial planner and she was hosting a little event there. And we did have the chocolatier come talk to us, tell us how they did the process, and show us some of the things. And it was
That's cool.
it was amazing.
It is, isn't it?
It is absolutely amazing. So again, field trip.
I know. Okay, field trip.
We're
Put it
taking
on our
so
list.
many
You know,
field trips.
and we do special things like our shell is thicker than most bonbon shells.
Okay.
But we do that on purpose. It's a little subtle thing, but we do it on purpose because we want you to enjoy the chocolate as well as the ganache. So you're getting a lot of the chocolate, which means we have to get the best chocolate for you to appreciate the chocolate. But then the chocolate and the ganache makes a great product, you know?
Okay. So chocolate and ganache like that is why it's called a bonbon?
A bonbon. You know, it's called a bonbon because the little French when they brought it to the court, he couldn't say chocolate chocolat, so he said bonbon, which is
Oh, boom
good.
boom.
Which is good.
That's
good,
great.
good.
I always wondered where bonbons come from. Okay,
really
now I know.
It's really bon.
Boom boom. Okay.
And the
is too funny.
truffle is chocolate. There's a center, but we layer it. So we put something in, and then we layer it again. We layer it again. So when you cut a truffle in half, you're going to see all these layers. of
Layers.
things.
Okay.
But it used to look like the truffle that the pigs dig up. It looked like a mushroom truffle. So they call it a chocolate truffle, but there's no truffle in it.
I
Now
see.
we take the center and we make a ball, or we put it in a mold, depending on which one you're making. Now it's like a dome.
Okay.
So it doesn't really look like a truffle anymore, but they still call it the chocolate truffle because it's still layers of chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's
Wow,
what I'm going to tell you.
interesting.
So, because you love not pecan delights, you love turtles.
Right. Those are good.
You will never eat another turtle once you have a chocolate secrets.
Oh, I wish I'd known. I would have brought
Okay.
you some. I'll have them deliver you some.
So no longer
We
the
have-
Russell Stovers.
Oh, no.
Mom gets
no,
the
no,
Russell
no, no,
Stovers
no,
to
no,
the
no,
turtles.
No,
Okay.
You won't. You won't.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, I was a Russell Stover fool. Fanatic. And I would always make sure when I went to the store, buy the small box. Because whatever box was in my house.
You're going to
it
eat the
was
whole
gone.
darn thing, right? That's
The
right.
other day I saw a box and I was all excited. I bit into it and I couldn't swallow.
All right.
Wow. Who knew?
Yeah.
One time, somebody brought me a chocolate and said, "We have chocolate on a stick. Does it melt?" Oh my God, who's eating that? Chocolate is one of the only foods that melts at a human's body temperature. So why
okay.
would you bring me a chocolate that doesn't melt?
Right.
What is that?
Right.
It's scary.
At least M&M had to put a hard coating around theirs, right?
Because
So
the chocolate was melting.
melting in your
And you know when
hands.
they say it melts in your mouth, not in your hands? It's because the chocolate was on the inside of that coating.
Right.
The coating would melt if you left it in your hand long.
Yeah, long enough.
But you wouldn't get to the chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
The chocolate doesn't melt in your hand.
Yeah.
Melts in
Oh
your
my
mouth,
gosh.
not in your hand.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
All right. So we want to take a field trip.
Wait, so how long have you
do
been at that
Okay.
location? Have you been
You
there?
know, I started off at in the West Village.
West Village. Okay. Okay.
And I wanted to sell wine because when I first started in Dallas, no one would eat dark chocolate. Only they wanted milk chocolate.
Yeah.
Yes.
They would say, "Oh, it's bitter," but dark chocolate is not bitter. If you have burnt beans, it's bitter, but the chocolate itself is not. So we got around to people eating dark. Now people only want dark, basically. And then we wanted to add wine to it, and they said, "Wine and chocolate? What are you, a lunatic?" But it's done all over the place. But it hadn't been done really in Texas. So when I wanted to sell wine, the West Village said.
Not going to let you.
So I moved
Okay.
to Oakland.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Now, everybody drinks wine.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And everybody eats dark chocolate. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think, but by the way, I'm not talking about the West Village because I loved it over there. They're
Right.
really wonderful people. But, you have to travel. You have to get out of yourself. There's so much
Right.
out there on the planet. I say this because I just recently had an incident. There's etiquette. And somebody was trying to show someone etiquette and being real rude about it. And I said, "You're missing the point. This is etiquette for this country, but there's also an etiquette for this country. In this country, you eat with your fingers. In
That's
this
what we do.
country, and in this country, and none is better than the other. Just get out of your mind. Go
Yeah.
someplace and see."
It's just different.
Yeah, and
Correct.
etiquette was not designed to be rude. It was designed to teach that culture,
Right.
or for you to bond with each other while you're consuming food in that culture. So I don't know. I get excited about people trying to be rude to people.
No,
What is
it's
that?
great, right?
It is,
and we
yeah.
eat with our hands all the time. I mean, it's you grab a piece of bread, you grab, even if it's a
Yeah.
salad, you
If
grab
it's
the
salad-
lettuce with the salad and you eat it like
And
that.
you go like, yeah.
People are like, what are you doing? Use a fork. I'm like, it doesn't taste the same. No, I'm not using a fork.
And if I'm not eating your food in your place, then you should be eating the way I'm eating because we're eating my food.
Right.
So
There you go.
Come
Right.
and learn my food.
Although when we have a lot of company, it's like, Gary, don't put your hand in the salad bowl to take the salad out. Use a fork.
Well, I'm gonna tell
Darn
you,
it.
Come to my house and you can eat with what you want.
All right. All right.
Use your fingers, get your toes out.
Get your toe-
Honestly, just be
Just be you.
be happy.
Be happy and yeah.
embrace all the culture. Oh my God.
You have
Your kids
to.
are lucky.
You have to.
Because my kids are so, a lot of kids used to come to my house because my house was so full of things they never saw before.
Yeah.
We had
Right.
a big bowl of nuts, but we kept it in the shell.
Yep.
So they would say,
Oh,
"What
yeah.
is that?" It's an almond. Really? You
Yeah.
know?
And you'd have to crack it. We'd have the cracker
Yeah.
Right.
in the
Oh,
big
you guys
bowl.
did that too?
Yeah.
We
Yes.
would, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know.
It makes it taste better. I mean, if my neighbors have a pecan tree and it's like, I just want to go pick fresh pecans and get my cracker
Crack them
and
with
a
your
bowl and I want to
hands.
crack them
Or,
and eat
right.
them.
And pick
I
it
have
out.
big trees in my yard.
Do you?
Oh my
And every morning
gosh.
during season, I get out, I walk out, I pick a bunch, put them in a little bag, and eat them on the way to work.
Yes,
y'all,
love
I wish I
figs.
loved,
Oh,
I wish I
love
loved, I
figs.
tried. I
Oh
have
my
tried.
gosh. It's easy to grow a fig. You just need one of this.
One of the, that's it?
Yeah, and you just stick it in the ground. You don't even need to put it in water.
me try that.
But I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna bring you some. Just stick it in the ground for camping.
Okay.
You would,
Okay.
and you would, yeah.
Oh, I love figs.
You would love
I
it.
have
Oh.
so many fig trees.
And there's nothing
Wow.
better than a fresh fig. I mean,
There's
the
nothing
stores,
like-
I tried buying them at stores. I'm like, no, this isn't
It doesn't
right.
taste the same.
At all. That's right. That's right.
And I encourage all my neighbors. I say, when you guys pass, grab a fig.
Right. Right.
So when they're walking their dogs, they
Grab a
a
fig.
fig.
some figs.
That's great.
That is great.
cool.
That is great. Well, Pam, thank you.
Okay, wait, hold on. We got to ask her a couple of questions that we
Oh,
always
that's
ask.
right.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm stepping ahead. I forget
What,
about
well,
the
you probably already
questions.
told us that, but what advice would you give your younger self?
Sign a prenup.
Yes. Holy moly. You are a woman after my heart. Thank God. That couldn't have been a better answer
That
for my
is
question from me,
perfect.
of all people. I preach
That's
people.
what we tell
get a prenup.
everybody.
Sign a prenup.
Yes.
As far as life experiences.
Yeah, no, okay.
I think that I was, God just gives me this thing. If I see it, it's like I'm a pigeon. I go do that. And I think you just keep doing that until you
Right.
drop you in a hole. But sign a prenup, whether you have money or not.
Right. That's what I tell people. That's what I tell people. It just makes life so much easier.
So much
And you don't even
simpler.
have to do it in contemplation.
Say that again? Why?
Right.
Because when you first get married, which marriage is a beautiful thing and you're all in love and kissy kissy, but now you're getting a divorce. Do you want to spend 4 years, in my case, fighting over property? Do you want to? Why is that? If you've already decided, when we get a divorce, this is yours and this is mine. Instead of spending $600,000 on attorney's fees,
right.
you spend $1.25. And the guy says, yeah, okay, sign here. And it's over. And you're not fighting. And marriage is really a contract. It's like any other contract.
Yeah.
And we pretend that it's not. We pretend that this is all about love and kissing in my heart. It is, but basically it's a contract. We have agreed to do these things. You sign a paper when you enter into a contract for a corporation. You should sign a similar paper when you're getting married. And it doesn't mean I love you less. It doesn't mean it's not romantic. It means we are not going to spend a lot of money and time and personal asset fighting over stupidity while we're angry. We're going to decide now while we love each other and we're happy, and we're going to divide it fairly and equitably. It's going to be great. And now you were grown when I met you and we got married, and I was grown, because you're not supposed to marry people that aren't grown. That's a joke, haha. But so you marry somebody, you're grown, we make a decision. We're not angry, we're in love, we want the best for each other. Now we sign the contract. Now the corporation didn't work, the marriage didn't work. Okay, dissolve it based upon the contract you entered
Yes.
into at the time you entered.
That's
That
amazing.
Couldn't have been,
God, yeah.
we couldn't have said it better ourselves.
That's exactly right.
And it's not romantic.
No, at all.
It's just common sense, and it's actually nicer to your spouse because I'm never going to fight with you over your mother's house. You brought that house into the marriage, and I'm so glad your mom gave that to you. And Punk and I want you to keep that house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we split. See, I'm so glad you have your mom's house.
You know, and I tell people, I said, listen, it's not about, you know, I know you're getting married. It's a beautiful event. Like you say,
Yeah.
you're in love. It's romantic. But and a prenup is not in contemplation of divorce.
No.
I hope you stay married the rest of your lives till death do you part.
Yeah.
Great. God bless you. But that's not the reason for the prenup. So I try to ingrain in their
That's not the
head.
reason for the prenup.
That's right.
It's really a kindness.
Yes,
It
it is a
is.
kindness. So of course our father used to tease. What did he used to say to us?
He
'Cause
used to say that, I mean, he felt marriage license should have expiration dates.
that's what it was.
And he's like, I mean, it's not saying that, yes, let's get married, but let's have an expiration date and we're going to split. It's like, no, let's get married and, 5 years later we'll reevaluate. And if we still love each other, we renew the
renew our-
marriage license.
He said
And
it
if
tongue in
not, then
cheek.
you-
Tongue
then
in
you-
cheek.
I mean,
but
go
I'm
your
thinking-
separate
I'm thinking
ways,
about that
but-
as a concept.
It is.
Wow.
I mean, you have to renew your driver's license or any other license. So
The other license.
renew your marriage license.
Yep. Hey, maybe.
Tell your dad I'm going to stick with the prenup.
There we go.
And if
Well,
you're
both.
already married and still in love, sign a post.
Post-nup.
Yes,
Oh, I
yeah.
sell that
Sign a
too.
post-nup.
I convince. Right.
Yeah.
And
Do
then
it
your
now.
kids, their inheritance isn't wasted on attorney's fees.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's not lost because you're battling over property. Your kids' inheritance is fine. Your love for and respect for each other maintains. It's
It
still
stays
intact.
intact.
Sign
Right.
a
It does.
post-nup.
Post-nup. Yep.
Ask them how long their parents were married.
So we lost our dad in April. I'm
sorry.
Thank you.
At
But
ripe
they,
old age of 90. So
yes,
God bless
had
him.
a great life.
Yep.
September would have been their 70th wedding anniversary.
And isn't that beautiful?
It is
is.
It's a
beautiful.
beautiful thing. My
Work for
grandparents
them.
were married for an eternity too.
Right.
Now it was a little different because women had no power, no authority back then. So if
Right.
a woman wanted to divorce, say, a husband that was cheating or something horrible to her, really?
Yeah.
What are you gonna go do? You couldn't get a job. You
Right.
couldn't get a
Right.
credit card.
That's right.
You couldn't get a credit card in your own name until the 60s.
Isn't that amazing? I know.
You
How?
couldn't own property. In your
Right.
How?
name.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre? Well, it seems bizarre to me. But I think you should stay married for as long as you want to be. Because I think marriage is a beautiful thing. And the thing about marriages, and your parents had, was honesty.
Right. That's it.
And honesty isn't not telling a lie. It's telling also a truth about yourself. Maintain the truths about yourself. So if I really don't like beets, and every weekend he makes beets, I can just say, honey, I don't like beets.
Yeah.
Right.
But I really like okra.
Yes.
Can we have okra?
It's that simple.
Well, I
It is
spent
that
30
simple.
years eating beets.
Yeah.
Until one day you think, I'm so sick of these
I know.
beets.
Then you blow up.
I'm
sick of
every
that.
weekend with these
That's
beets.
right. You're darn
Then
beats.
you blow up. Oh my
Just
gosh.
be honest and open. It's a great thing.
Okay.
But
Okay, so was that's still the first question? But no, that was good. Thank you. Those are amazing words of wisdom. I love
Yes.
it. I love it, and then they have a twist. So I love that. Okay, so we have the Raising the Bar podcast. So how do you feel you raise the bar both professionally and or personally?
I think it's a mandate for all of us to raise the bar. Just a little stupid thing. When my kids would do their homework, I would always say, okay, and what's your extra? Because you couldn't do your homework and you were finished. You had to do your homework and then something extra onto the homework, and then you were done. And I remember my little bit, Armand, when he was little, he said, I don't want to do an extra. Nobody else has to do an extra. I said, yes, honey, but in this house, what do we do? Extra. So I always raise the bar with kids, with friends, with the store, with anybody that comes in. Not because I think I'm so great, but I think culturally, spiritually, it is It is our duties, our responsibility to raise the bar. You have to be kind, or why are you still sucking air?
Yeah.
What are you here for?
Right.
Right.
How much energy does it take to be a jerk?
Too much.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Too much.
Just be nice. So I believe, honestly, that I have raised the bar, but I think I do it all the time because it's my mandate. Not because I'm so great, but because not doing it makes me a horrible human being.
Right. Okay.
Not doing it is a horror. The doing it is your regular extra. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
You're supposed to be nice. You're supposed to pick up trash on the ground. You're supposed to water the flowers. You're supposed to say good morning.
Right.
You're supposed to be good to your kids. You are not supposed to be a jerk. This is unacceptable.
That's right.
So I believe through life we all do. Do you know, we right now, the three of us, are raising the bar. You guys are so kind to me. I'm so happy being here sitting with you. So my bar is raised. Do you know
Right.
what I'm saying? And we talked about so many things. Like,
We did.
I didn't know in Lebanon, in the Virgin Islands we said this, women hold hands. So as we were sitting here talking, I would be holding her hand all day.
Right.
And she said we do the same thing.
We do.
Oh,
We're always,
you see, now my world is lifted. I know that. I didn't know that
Yeah.
10 minutes ago.
No,
And a normal greeting is a hug, whether
Is a-
they're a
oh my
stranger
God,
or not.
always a
Yeah.
hug.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to embrace you. Why not? It's the
Why
nice thing
not?
to do.
And that's the regular. That's
Right.
the
That's the
regular
norm for
lifting
us.
of the bar.
Yes.
It's exactly right.
Otherwise, to say, I'm not going to touch you, or to act like there's something wrong with you,
No, right.
you're a jerk.
That's right.
And you're not supposed to be a jerk.
And Dad's always taught us that, and he instilled in us, especially when we started practicing together, which has been just so much fun.
Tremendous,
It's
yes.
been amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because some people would ask, how can you work with your father? I can never work with my father. He's my best friend.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And you're my sister. It's amazing.
Yeah.
We can scream and yell all we want, and then what do you want to go
I
do for
love you.
lunch?
Yeah.
And we're
And
going to
I
see
love
each other
you.
for
I
dinner.
love you.
And so,
And respect you.
and he would say, listen, one of the things that is just a hard line is you treat everybody that calls or walks in that door with the same respect. I don't care if they pay us a $25,000 retainer or they pay us a 25-cent retainer. It doesn't matter whether they're dressed to the nines or whether they're right off the street. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So we've instilled that, obviously, and we've built that culture with the firm, and we're careful about who we've hired. And I can tell you that hiring good people nowadays has been very difficult to find those that either have that same mentality or even work ethic. And it's not about work. I mean, for us, he would say, listen, if you can't enjoy what you do when you wake up in the morning and go to work, then go do something
Yeah.
else.
Go do something else that you do like.
And so when we interview folks, and I'm watching my paralegals and my secretaries and receptionists and other associates, listen, if you don't like working here, go somewhere else. I'm not going to say don't let the door hit you on the way out. Go do something you enjoy doing
And make yourself happy.
and make yourself happy. Exactly
is way
right.
too
and
short.
people around you happy.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So
Oh, I love
that's what we
this.
enjoy doing, and it's been fun, and it's been a fun ride.
It
and
has been.
30-something years. In fact, we're having our 37th annual Christmas open house that we've been having for 37 straight years.
You don't know this. I've been invited.
You have.
Yes, please come
You need
and
to
bring who you
come.
want. Bring your
Yes.
kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's a fun
Thank you,
event.
guys.
So anyway, yes, I appreciate those amazing words of wisdom.
That
And that's
has
great.
been great. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on our Raising the Bar podcast.
And we're going to do a field trip,
we are
right?
going to do a field trip.
To the
Yes,
store.
to
We're
Chocolate
gonna do that.
Secrets.
We'll set that up in the
Absolutely.
coming weeks.
And can I ask you, what do
me do that.
you see as you're raising the bar? What's your thing?
Oh gosh, no one's ever asked me that. We always
Oh,
ask
good.
everyone
Everybody
else
else?
that. Yes,
Right. Okay.
yes. My raising the bar is just to be kind.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you have to be kind. You have to be respectful. With my kids, and it seems with the friends that they have, with the clubs that they play their sports with. My son's baseball coaches require that when they walk in the front door, whether it's for practice, for a lesson, for a clinic, for whatever it is, they go to every single coach to shake their hand and tell them hello. And they better not leave without doing the same thing.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
And
that's
after the
great.
game, you shake the umpire's hand, you tell them thank you. And for me, that's lost on so many people out there. And it's just saying thank you
And be kind.
and be kind.
That's exactly right.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you're similar or different?
No, very similar. I mean, it really is truly about building a culture of just being friendly, just be nice. There's no reason not to be nice to people. And you know, people come to us and they have problems. So it's not, well, that person's, you know, they're just crazy. No, they've got a problem and we're here to help them. So we need to stop, look, and listen, and then see what we can do to help them get down the road.
You never know what others are going through.
Right.
Tell my kids, you know, if they'll come and they'll say, oh, this person was such a jerk to me. And I'm like, but you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what happened at home. You don't know about their home life. You don't know what struggles they're having. That's how they're reacting to whatever struggles they have going on. So
they're really
just
coming to you
be
for help,
kind.
Right. Right.
I mean, if
So
they're
it
going to
is.
be a jerk, just let them be a jerk, but be kind. You don't need to match it. Because you truly don't. Everyone has their own crosses to bear and has their own struggles.
I really think our world is getting, you know, a lot of people say, oh, there's wars, but if you talk to individual people, you know, I think the world is getting better.
Yes, I like
You
to
know,
believe
I
that.
think we're getting kinder because we're getting smaller. It's impossible for you to stay, impossible. It's difficult to stay in one little town for your entire life. Either the world is going to come to your small town or you're going to leave it. So the world is getting smaller. We're starting to know each other.
Right. Right.
We are, and on an individual basis, I think you're right. People are kind and they're respectful, but that's not what we see in mainstream.
It's
Right.
not what the news shows.
It's not what the
That's
news
it.
shows you.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
And it's a shame because people feed off of that. But individually, we're good.
And this is why
We're
are
raising the
Raising
bar.
the bar.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Instead of talking about her.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This was
This has been
wonderful.
fun.
Oh my
right.
gosh.
I'm so nice.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I know I'm going to lean over there.
Absolutely.
Be careful. Usually they do the two cheek kiss thing.
Oh,
Should I
yes.
say?
You know?
I get on Lori all the time because, you know, we have, and I don't mean to stereotype, but I'm going to stereotype a little bit. You know, female attorneys are great. There's nothing wrong with them, but you're also a female. So I want to treat you that way. It's going to be yes, ma'am. And I want, when I go to shake their hand, don't shake my hand like am I saying this right? Shaking it like a man. I mean, when you shook my hand,
yeah.
you took my hand, and you not only shook it, but you embraced me.
Oh,
And I immediately, that was amazing. Because,
Okay, yeah, it's
and
my
that's what I
way.
would have expected from you.
Yeah.
Not a firm handshake like, you know, like am I saying that right? What am I
you
trying to
are.
say?
You're being exactly fine. I'm going to tell you that I am very pro-female.
Right,
I
of
don't have a
course.
negative thought about female at all, but female, as much as I just recently learned this, is not male. It's different because I had 3 sons and they come out the womb. Men are not the same as women. And I don't say that as a sexist thing.
No, at
I'm
all.
saying this as a fact. And all 3 of them, with 3 completely different personalities, are not women.
Correct.
They're just, it's male. It's a different thing.
So my kids are
It's a different thing completely.
My oldest is is a girl, youngest is a boy, and just watching them when they were little, I'm like,
They're different.
They're different, right?
They're
With my
different.
son, I'm like, how, where do you get? You're a baby. Where do you get that from? But they are.
From birth.
That's
are
it.
From birth, they're different.
That's right.
Yes, men are
That's right.
different than women. Yeah.
And they're cultural things like, you know, when I used to take somebody out to lunch, I paid. And so some guy came to me and said, why are you paying for this lunch? I said, because I'm not going out to lunch as your girlfriend.
Right.
I'm going out to lunch as your lawyer. And we're having a business meeting.
Right.
And me, as your business advisor, I pay. Or culturally here in America, I pay. Because there's a subtlety. If you pay, although you may not say it out loud, there's an idea that somehow you want to date me or somehow you want to,
Right.
I'm supposed to slide under just a little bit,
No, right.
you know? So we each have roles.
Right.
And they're not etched in stone. And as I said, culturally, do what you want to do. But don't get angry because I pay. I pay
right.
because I'm the lawyer.
Thanks to our sponsor, the Ashmore Law Firm.
We specialize in probate, estate planning, family law, guardianship, personal injury, and civil litigation.
You can find us at ashmorelaw.com.
Or by calling us at 214-559-7202.
Again, that's ashmorelaw.com.
Or calling 214-559-7202.